Scott is the chairman of the board of the Green Sports Alliance. And I do have to say, I am a huge sports fan because not only of the cultural importance of sports, because it also helps us define elite performance. And it's so appropriate when we're talking about team effort, what it takes for lots of people to be able to work together. So I love sports. So the Green Sports Alliance is the leading sports organization bringing sustainability to pro and collegiate sports teams and venues around the globe. Throughout his career, Scott has opened several new major sports stadiums, such as Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where the Atlanta Falcons play, T-Mobile Park, where the Seattle Mariners play, Lincoln Financial Field for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the American Family Field for the Milwaukee Brewers. Scott is the go-to guy for teams building new stadiums. But beyond the construction stuff, what's important about Scott is that he actually was able to build the operations teams. Not only does he understand about cleaning, but all the other components of engaging people and driving success and being able to really work with people to support them, to support the workers, and ultimately the communities that they work in. So let me begin by asking you, what excites you personally about the sustainability movement?
That's a great question, Steve. When we started getting into the sports and sustainability business, when I was in Philadelphia with the Eagles, we created a program called Go Green, really at the urging and passion of the owners of the Eagles. And while as an operator, I was always interested in being efficient and always interested in health and safety and was mindful of the environment. I didn't know what that intersection looked like. What does that mean for a sports team? And what I can say looking back to 2004, almost 20 years ago now, when my first really foray into sustainability in sports began, what makes me excited today is what I had hoped was going to happen is happening. People are realizing climate change is a major issue, a threat. And I think they're also realizing it also presents a lot of opportunities. And as a business-minded person, we always need to be looking for ways to improve the bottom line, right? We want to improve profitability. And I think sports is a great platform to raise awareness, to engage people, as Steve talked about, that work at the ballpark, at the stadiums, the arenas, the fans that come, the corporate partners that we engage in. And I just see this tremendous level of interest today. And I know Steve and I are early adopters, if you will, to the value of sustainability. I see this mainstream now. And the surveys that I see from sports fans around the world are that the majority of them consider themselves environmentalists. And so they care about renewable energy. They care about the planet. They know we've got an issue we need to deal with. And I see this intersection now between the consumer, the business community, and government is creating a situation where, boy, if you don't get in the game, you're missing the boat. But if you do, there's tremendous opportunity to engage with your stakeholders, your partners, and to create opportunities to do real meaningful work that also drives your business results. So I couldn't be more happy with the state of affairs today. Having said that, I think we all realize we need to move and soon and fast. And it's also exciting to see this many people on one call that have decided to step up and say, hey, let me learn something about this. How do I engage in it? So the risk we know about, the opportunities are in front of us, and we know that we can seize them, and the time is right.
Thanks, pal. And let me follow up on that just a little bit. Obviously, this is a business group. How do you believe that sustainability can be profitable? Right.
Absolutely.
We know that it's the right thing, right? But can it be profitable? And if so, do you have any examples that you could share from some of the projects you've worked on?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. And I've always struggled when people go, oh, it's going to cost more to do this. It doesn't have to cost more. It can cost less. And when we look at the value proposition, it's not always the cost of doing something. It's the results you get from it. And I have to say, from my time in Seattle, the amount of pride that was developed in the relationship between all the operating entities within the ballpark around our sustainability platform blew me away. That was my biggest surprise. I knew we could drive down costs by being efficient. I knew we can increase engagement with our employees. I knew that we could do some partnerships with our corporate partners community. But every time we use sustainability as a lens to view our business, it drove performance, it drove results. There were times we did spend more money if we chose to use a compostable service item in the food area, but by looking at reducing waste and switching to a zero waste mindset, we saved utilities, we saved water, we used materials more efficiently, and in doing that, we improved our environmental performance, the health and safety. But it was the bringing people together to be successful that really was the big win for us. When housekeepers know people that work in food service, that know the tour operators, that know the security people, if you just did this sustainability initiative as a means to bring your team together and create a real spirit and culture, it would win. It'd be a huge win. But we could reduce operating costs, we could reduce our environmental footprint, we can increase our engagement with our corporate partners, and you guys can sell more. And my experience with Waxy in the Seattle area was fantastic. We drove down our cost of materials, we improved the cleanliness of the building, there was a sense of pride, and I really appreciate folks and the businesses that you guys have where you bring real value to your customers. And sustainability, it's just another way to keep score. But I really do think when you use the lens of sustainability to look at your operation, it drives results in multiple ways.
And so you've done this for a bunch of different facilities, and obviously in your role as chair of the Green Sports Alliance and the commitments that they've made through the leagues and working internationally, do you have any sustainability projects that you're personally proud of or think that's really exciting that, beyond just cleaning that you might share with the group?
Yeah, again, in Philadelphia, where we started the Go Green program, I feel good about that because it was the first comprehensive sustainability platform. And then what I learned there, I brought to Seattle and really improved the operation of Safeco Field and the connectedness of all the people there and a sense of pride around it. And then when I had a chance to go to Atlanta and work with Arthur Blank and help bring his vision to life for Mercedes-Benz Stadium, making that LEED Platinum and being the first Platinum LEED certified stadium for new construction was very satisfying. But as we do these things, it's a journey, and you start someplace and you want to head in the right direction, and everyone starts at a different place, and we're all going to move at different speeds. And so, what I look at now, and I hold up as the example, is Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, where the NHL Kraken play. And they're going to be carbon neutral, and they're doing a heck of a job, dealing with Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 emissions on carbon, accounting for the carbon emissions embedded in the construction of the building. And they're doing it in a building that's, really setting the stage for entertainment, being the best. So there's no giving anything up to be sustainable. It's just creating value and doing it the right way and driving down your operational costs. So there's lots of examples out there. We just had a webinar last week with someone from the San Diego Padres talking about their renewable energy and battery storage and what they've done to conserve energy. And hats off to what they've done. We all need to operate that way. And it drives business results. So there's lots of great examples out there. And obviously with the World Cup going on, we've heard a lot of things, about being in Qatar and, the merits or problems environmentally, but it's now part of the conversation. It's front and center. And 20 years ago, that definitely was not the case. So lots of good things happening out there.
Thank you. And then last question for you, Pal. You've been involved with some pretty big projects, both with the Alliance and with your leadership at the various sports venues that you've ran. We're trying to do something really big as well. On our call today, we have over 100 people. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'd like to have 1,000 people on it, because if we want to do big things, we need a lot of people to participate. And where I'm going with this question is, from your experience, do you have any suggestions to the group what we need to do to operate effectively, to get stuff done, considering it is such a big group. So any thoughts you might like to share with us, Coach?
Yeah, it can seem like a real daunting task when you're saying, how do we solve the sustainability issue? And when I look back at where we've been successful, it's a journey, and everyone's going to start at a different place. But look for the low-hanging fruit, get some wins, and then celebrate that with your team, with your clients, with your customers. Simple things like, where does our toilet paper come from? What kind of cleaning chemicals are we using? When you make smart choices and you engage with the resources that are out in the world that you guys provide to our industry and to all sectors of society, you really do provide a valuable resource. And when you can bring that to the table, you're bringing more value and you're differentiating what you do and building that relationship with your customers. So start small and get your wins and look for that low-hanging fruit. And when we started thinking about zero waste at T-Mobile Park, I really didn't think we could get to a 90% diversion rate. I just thought, I don't know how the heck that's going to happen. And that's coming from me that really thinks we can do just about anything we set our mind to. But 5-6 years into it, we did get to a 90% diversion rate. So start small, get your wins, and celebrate with the folks that were involved, and you'll be amazed where the journey will lead you.
Well, that sounds like good advice and good marching orders. And Scott, I can't thank you enough for spending a little bit of time with us. We'll keep you posted on our progress, and we hope that you'll help share more ideas and support as we move forward. But with this, again, let me give you my heartfelt thank you for spending some time with us this morning.